another famous relation, many to many. Okay, this will have some cases. I will cover only most widely used cases. Let's take an example first, and then go to mongoose. How we can take advantage of mongoose in many to many relations. And okay, so many to many. So here, like one instance can have multiple instance of other table, and that other table, single instance can belong to multiple instances of the table. Okay, so what I mean is, uh, let's take an example so that you can understand better. Okay, suppose there is a tutorial class or a tutorial system you're building, and uh, user, they assume there is a collection called user, and there is another collection or table called course. Okay, so just when I say table, just in order to make you understand, like it's a table, but when we talk to monkey, you should use the term collection. Okay, I'm going to use table as well, so that it is better to understand, because you know more I am from those who are from the SQL background might seem a little confused about the collection term. So okay, I'm going to use both the words. So here, user can have many courses, and single course can be owned by many users, or single course can be opted by many users. Okay, so basically, as you see, user has many courses, and single course belongs to many users. Unlike in one to many, or single user owns multiple instances of that one. Okay, all those multiple instances which are used by user doesn't belongs to another user in one to many. For example, we took example of user and book. Okay, book, let's take how it is stored in MongoDB. Book will have this users. Okay, let's take in user we are storing ID 1, assume 1 2 are the user ID. Okay, so here we have user. Okay, and user will have books. Okay, books 192. Okay, this is our first book. Okay, and let's take our second book. User 1. Okay, so here, as you see, assume these one two are the primary IDs of book. Okay, this is user collection and book collection. These are the multiple instances of the books. Okay, this will have a single user ID. Okay, multiple instead of books belongs to a single owner. But assume the same example. In the same example, if I'm going to assume like this is a many to many, so how it might look is, assume user has many book, and single book can belongs to many user. Just assumption, it's not a real time example and a good example. In that case, we have a different thing, like user, we can have ID something different like this 192. Okay, here something 192. So single instance of the book is owned by two users. Okay, again single user can own multiple instances of the book. For example, there is another user, assume so there is another user who can also own second book, and also the third book. Here two is common. Okay, so in this way, this is how many to many relation works. So hope you understand now, with this as a better example, users and course. Okay, so you might be wondering, if you remember, or if you came across how we used to store it in SQL databases. It is going to be help you, like I will show you how we used to store it in SQL, and how we actually store it in MongoDB. So let's take same example, user and the course. Okay, user and the course, we took an example of user and the course. Here, yeah. Okay, So in the databases, in the same example, there is a separate intermediary table which we have to create for many-to-many relationship, which will reference both the tables like this, user and the course. Okay, user ID. So again, like user ID 1, 2, and separate course ID, and there can be any combination of user and course ID. There is no restriction on the user and the course ID. So this is how we used to store it in SQL databases. Okay, there will be an intermediary table. As you see, this is one case where there's an intermediary table doesn't grow. What it means is like this is an intermediary table in many-to-many relationship. It doesn't need to have some other column values. Okay, it just store these IDs, that is going to be enough. Okay, if I do user dot courses, okay, in your ODM or ORM, in SQL databases, let's take ORM. We are writing a query using ORM. uh, when we do user and courses, it will find the all the courses using this user ID which we are using it here, and of course then it will take the course IDs and it will just return you all the courses that the user wants, and vice versa in SQL databases. uh, okay, so in MongoDB, there is no need to store it as an intermediary table. In this case, where you are sure like this intermediary table doesn't grow. Okay, so here we are just going to store it in as an array of IDs in the board table. Let's take an example here of Mongoose so that you will understand it better. Okay. So I have created many mongoose models so that you can understand easily. So this is a mongoose queries of the SQL. So no need of intermediary table here. Just for sake of understanding, I just explained you how we were storing it in SQL databases and how we have to store it in Mongo. Okay, so now we have this user model. Okay, to explain you, I just created two users. Okay, and I have created two courses as I said in this example. Okay, many-to-many case one, user and the courses in MongoDB. So here, if I go to user schema, schema is a very good module where we can easily refer how we are going to store this. You can easily understand how we are going to store the data. As you see, we have this courses array of objects. Of course, it's a many-to-many single instance of user schema owns multiple instance of courses, and again that single instance of course can be owned by multiple instance of this user schema. Okay, and let's take course schema. Okay, as you see, this is again an array of your objects which refers to users. This array of courses refers to the course model, and here it refers to user model which is an array of users. Okay, hope now you understand better. So when I say an array of courses, obviously I showed to you these are the nothing but an array of object IDs. So using those object IDs, just Mongoose populates courses for you and users for you. Okay, just I'm going to create two users and two courses, and as I said, in order to query from the both the documents, in order to query in a good way, so we have to associate these IDs to for users. For example, user one dot courses dot push, I'm going to push these two courses for the user one, and I'm going to just associate that user to these two courses. Okay, in just association here, and for user 2 I'm just going to push again the course one. As I said, single instances of course can belong to multiple instances of user. So now course 1 is owned by both the users, And again, single user can own multiple courses. So I'm just pushing the IDs here. I'm waiting for the save. And let's say again, so now we have everything we need. Okay, I'm just querying and populating the course. Okay, so now you can query however you want here, like after the save. Let's delete some of the collection documents. Let's drop the users. That's uh, drop these things. db dot books dot drop and db dot courses dot drop. Okay, so now I deleted everything so that now the db records will look more clear so that you can understand better. So now we have this. mm, I'm going to hit it. Okay, I got success again. So let's see how I will show you how the records are stored. So now I just found out these user records. As you see, there are two users. I just created user and user one and user two. So there are two documents, and now we have these courses. Okay, as you see, courses is an array of objects, and db dot courses dot find. As you see, again I created two courses. Again for each course we are having this array of objects. So again for your reference, if you are finding some course, if you want to get users, all you need to do is just a course object dot users. As you saw, like when I made a request, it just bought me these user objects, course object dot user. Course object is name C. Name C is course 2. So basically course 2 is as you see is owned by how many users? Course 2 is owned by only one user. Hope it has printed only one user object in an array. See, it has printed one user object in an array. Similarly, you can just find out user and just do user object dot courses. You will get all the courses that the user owns. Okay, so this is hope you understand like how one-to-many relationship works in Mongo. I just showed you with an example. Okay, all you just need to do is define the schema like this to reference each other. So this is the case one that I have covered in many-to-many relation. So let's take another case. Okay, so let's when intermediary table does grow. Okay, so here I told you like user courses. We used to create an intermediary table that will not grow. Okay, uh, suppose let's take a real time scenario like patient and appointment and a doctor. So like a patient will have appointment with many doctors. That might be possible obviously, and doctor will have obviously appointments with many patients. Okay, so in that case, it's nothing but a many to many real time, very good example. So one instance of a patient collection can belongs to multiple instances of doctor. Again, a single instance of doctor can belongs to multiple instances of a patient. So now we have appointment again in SQL databases. There is an intermediary table that we are going to create in SQL databases like appointment. But this table will grow because the appointment will have a date and the appointment will have a place and etc. Okay, I am pretty sure like we are pretty sure like this intermediate table does grow, and like in other courses, let's assume this doesn't grow, course will not have thing, but appointment is a good scenario. Might be appointment will have a date, because appointment date, if I store it in a patient, it doesn't look good, and if I store it the appointment date in the doctor, it doesn't look good, because it's a weird to store this appointment date in this doctor and a patient. okay, because it doesn't actually belongs to doctor and patient, it belongs to an appointment intermediary table. Okay, in this cases we in the Mongo, like there is no good approach. We can just store it in uh, uh, as similar to this SQL way. So we can't just store it in both tables like this users array of IDs and this one. So if it is intermediate table is growing, growing. So let's create these things like patient will have many doctors and this doctors. Okay, and okay. So here instead of storing ID, patient ID in doctor, let's store it in intermediate table, and this appointment intermediate model you have to create it on your own. And so like when you do patient dot appointments, uh, again this mongoose will pick a appointment or data for you. So it's a little more work in mongoose when you come up with this kind of scenario. It's up to you like how you can design. This is one of the approach. So again, so here patient will have many appointments. So if you want to get appointment, so you have to create this intermediate table with the patient on doctor ID first. Then you have to as I said, like mongoose in order to access patient dot appointments, but in order to populate these appointments in patient, we need to give array of objects here. Appointments. Okay, so here we have appointment 1, appointment ID 2, like this, so that you can easily access the appointment. So in this way, like you need to figure out a way of putting these foreign key of appointment doctor and patient in their respective collection and try to access it. I just didn't created this example, and so hope you because it is you can just achieve it using one to many and one to one depending on your scenario, and one to many. Okay, and many to many example which I just teach you just before. Hope now you understand many to many cases of this one. uh, Fine.